Hello everyone. Today we will learn very interesting chapter for class 10 and this is chapter number 7 from your book Footprints Without Feet, the supplementary reader in English for class 10th, and the name of the chapter is The Necklace. The chapter The Necklace is written by famous short story French writer Gaudi Maupassant, and this is your teacher Sanju Sahu, teaching English Janvi West Young, Arunachal Pradesh, who is going to present this educational video on the chapter Necklace. So let's begin with the introduction of this chapter. So see what the story is about. The chapter The Necklace is very interesting. The story revolves around a selfish lady named Matilda who is very pretty. So the central figure or the protagonist of this story is Matilda, who is also called Madame Loisel. She wanted to lead a rich and luxurious life, but she was born into a humble family and had to marry an ordinary man. Actually, she was so convinced that she was so pretty, so beautiful that she deserved a very rich, luxurious and comfortable life. She does never wanted to marry an ordinary man. Actually, she married Mr. Lucille, who was a mere clerk in the Office of Education of Department of Education. She felt sad about her petty economic and social status. Petty means of low status. So she was very disappointed about her low economical and financial social status. She desperately wanted to be a rich lady, a famous one. She wanted to marry a rich or well-known person. One day in this story, what happened? Both the husband and wife are invited to a party at the minister's house. So it was a grand party, it was a big party, but Matilda does not have good clothes. She didn't have good dress and jewels to wear at such a grand party. Her husband suggests her to buy a dress and ask an old friend for the jewelry. She then borrows a necklace from her friend and goes to the party. So this is the plot. This is the base of your story. Here one young selfish lady is there. Her name is Matilda, who is not at all satisfied with her economical and social status. All the time this lady Matilda is absorbed in thinking and dreaming of a rich luxurious life. So as she got an invitation to such a big grand rich party, she wanted to appear, she wanted to pretend very rich. So in order to appear rich, she borrowed a necklace from her rich friend, and see what happens next, which proves to be a lesson for the unhappy lady. So this story is all about it. So we have to start this story, and before that, so let's have a short glance at the characters of the story. So there are total three main characters in the story. First is Matilda, who is also called Madame Loisel. Another is her husband, that is Mr. Loisel. And the third man character is Madame Forestier, and it is the lady or it is the rich friend from whom Matilda had borrowed the diamond necklace for the ball. So Mathilde Loisel. Matilda, the another name of Matilda is Mathilde Loisel. So we can define the trait of this lady as selfish, unhappy, dissatisfied and jealous. She was jealous of her rich friends. The next is Monsieur Lucille. On the other hand, the husband. Matilda's husband was very much loyal, hardworking, practical, and by profession he was a clerk. That wealthy friend of Matilda was Madame Forestier, and she is wealthy, she is generous, she is kind, and at the same time, she is trusting. Now we will see the detailed summary of the chapter. So, for the better understanding, let's see the summary in detail for this chapter. At first, we have our central character Matilda, who is very much pretty and young. Matilda was a pretty young lady. You can see in the picture how beautiful Matilda is. It seems that by an error of destiny she was born in the family of clerks. She had no hopes of marrying a rich and important person, hence she married a petty clerk. It means that Matilda Lucille, a middle class lady, she desperately wished she were wealthy. She was very pretty and charming, but had the bad luck to be born into a family of clerks and married to another clerk, Mr. Lucille. Her husband actually worked as a clerk in the office of the Board of Education. And here Matilda was not at all happy to marry such a petty clerk because all the time she absorbed herself in the daydreaming if she were wealthy. So see, here Matilda is simple. Actually she was very beautiful, but she does not have any facilities to look or to have a rich looks. So she seemed very simple, and so that's why because of she is very unhappy. Matilda was simple but unhappy. She was pained at her miserable condition. She thought that she was born for all delicacies and luxuries of the world. Her petty means of low status. Her petty economic and social status tortured and angered her every time. She loved only marvelous dishes, nice frocks, and jewels. So, in this story, we can say that Matilda actually wanted to be very rich. She wanted to look very rich, but due to error of destiny, because of her bad luck, her misfortune, she took birth into a family of clerks, that is a low status or low financial status family, and because of that she does not have any means to get married to such a famous and rich well known person. So it was her bad luck, and she was extremely beautiful and she was proud of her beauty. She, in the real sense, was so convinced that she was meant to be rich, and she detested her real life. She had detested herself from the real life, and she spent all the day dreaming and despairing about the fabulous life that she was not having. She would like only the marvelous dishes, the surprising dishes, the utensils made of silver, nice frocks, nice gowns, and nice jewelries. So she was not happy with whatever she has. So see what happens next. One day she got an invitation for a grand party for dinner. One day Mr. Lucille gave her a printed card. It was an invitation to dinner organized by the Minister of Public Instruction. So luckily Here, Mr. Loisel was working as a clerk in the office of Department of Education and the related department. The boss of that department, the Minister of Public Instruction, he had organized one royal dance party which is called ball. So Mr. Loisel and Mrs. Loisel were also invited to that grand party. So one day Mr. Loisel, when he received that invitation, he brought that invitation to Matilda, and he had hoped that his wife would be delighted to receive such an invitation, because all the time she had been dreaming about leading the rich life. So he had expected that she would be delighted after on receiving this invitation. But Matilda threw the invitation upon the table with contempt. Contempt means hate. She was impatient and complained that she had nothing to wear on such a great occasion. So we can say that Mr. Loisel actually brought an invitation to a fancy ball organized by his boss, the Minister of Education. Mr. Loisel had thought that his wife would be very much delighted to read the invitation, but she was not delighted to see the invitation. She told her husband that she does not have a good dress to wear on that occasion. And see what happens. One hurting sentence, she told she told that she didn't have a proper dress to wear on such a occasion. Matilda told him calmly that she couldn't go. The reason is that because she didn't have proper dress. So this was the problem. This was the reason why she did not want to go to that royal ball. He should give his card to a colleague's wife who had a better dress than hers, and he was pained to hear it. He had never expected that his wife is so dissatisfied with her condition, with her economical situation. She told him that he should give this invitation card to one of his colleagues, those who haven't received such invitation, because their wives or the colleague's wife might have a better dress than hers and she could attend the party. And this sentence pained Mr. Loisel a lot. He asked what it would cost them to buy a good dress. She replied 400 francs. So Mr. Loisel told her that she could buy a new dress. He had saved 400 francs to buy a gun to join some hunting parties. He said that he would give that money to her for buying a new dress. So at first, when she told that it would need nearly 400 francs to buy such a party wear dress, so at first he got nervous. But as he had saved that amount to buy a gun for his hunting parties, actually it was his desire, it was his wish to join such hunting parties in the coming summer. So for that he had saved nearly almost 400 francs so that he can buy a gun. But he offered that amount to his dear wife Matilda so that she could buy a beautiful dress to wear for the royal ball. Matilda became very happy to buy extremely beautiful party wear dress. So here, for the sake of fulfilling the desire of Matilda, her loving and caring and understanding husband sacrificed his own wish to buy a gun for joining a hunting parties. So we can say that Mr. Loisel was very loving, caring and understanding husband who was very much concerned about the happiness of his wife Matilda. Now the first problem had been solved, that is a good party wear dress had been purchased for the ball. The next problem was the necklace, because after purchasing a good dress, obviously Matilda would be looking for a good, costly, expensive necklace. So the day a ball came near, her dress was ready, but still she was spent to have such a poverty-stricken look. Poverty-stricken look means the look which seems that that particular person is not having a wealthy status. Okay, so she was vexed not to have a jewel. She is very much angry, she is very disappointed that she does not have a good jewelry to wear for the party. Mr. Lucille. Here Mr. Lucille is a very understanding person. He is very much resourceful. In throughout the chapter we will find many examples which proves that Mr. Lucille was very much resourceful, who comes up with good ideas on every odd situation. Here Mr. Lucille suggested that she could wear some natural flowers, so it was a good advice. He told that at that time there is a good fashion of wearing the jewelry of natural flowers. But see the reply. Here Matilda replied, no, it was humiliating. Humiliating means very much insulting for her to give a shabby image of her. Shabby means dirty. So she does not want to look or to give a dirty image of her in midst of rich ladies. Actually in that royal ball, that party would be attended by all the rich personalities of the city. So as she has got invitation, she must appear very rich, very graceful, very glamorous. So if she would wear a jewelry of natural flowers, it would look very cheap. So she does not want to be humiliated among the rich ladies. So again a great idea, a good idea came to Mr. Lucille. So see what was the idea. He asked her to borrow jewels from her friend. This is her rich friend, Madame Forestier. She uttered a cry of joy. So after getting this good idea, Matilda became very happy, and she went to Madame Forestier and she told about the invitation to such a grand party, and she asked to borrow her a good a good necklace for the party. So at this Madame Forestier was such a kind, was such a generous lady that she opened her jewel case in front of her and asked her to choose any item she liked. And our Matilda is very much choosy. She searched for many jewelries, and she even asked her friend Madame Forrester to show her some other jewelry. So at last Matilda's eyes fell on a superb, extremely beautiful necklace of diamonds. Her friend willingly agreed to lend that to her. It shows that Madame Forestier was very good lady and she has a very trusting nature. So that's why she trusted her friend Matilda and she willingly became agreed to lend her expensive necklace to her. So Matilda got overjoyed and went away with the diamond necklace. So till now we have seen both the problems. The problem of lack of good dress and lack of good jewelry had been sorted out, and now our protagonist Matilda is perfectly ready to attend a royal ball. So see what happens next. See, our Matilda is ready for this grand royal party, and her efforts proved a great success at ball. Madame Louisille, Matilda was a great success at the ball. She looked very pretty, very elegant, very graceful, very glamorous in the party. So she considered it a grand success. So dear students, the definition of success can vary from person to person. Some are dreaming of getting success in the field of education, some in the field of politics, some in the field of something else. But here our protagonist Matilda, she was very much concerned about her beauty. She wanted to be rich, or at least she wanted to pretend like a rich lady. And as she had everything now, the great occasion, the great dress, the great jewelry. So she thought like that she had accomplished a great success at the ball. She looked very glamorous in the party, and all the men noticed her and wanted to be introduced to her because she was the main attraction in the party. She looked so beautiful, and because of that, as whatever dream she had been seeing throughout her life, that dream had become fulfilled on the day of that ball. So she became very, very happy, and she danced with enthusiasm, intoxicated with pleasure. She remained in the effect of her endless pleasure, thinking of nothing but all this admiration, all this appreciation. This victory was so complete and sweet to her heart. So her life dream was completed when she attended this ball, because at the party she looked very, very beautiful. All the men, even the minister, pay attention to her. So she is filled with joy, she dances with pleasure, and she enjoyed the party till 4 o'clock. So at 4 o'clock, both husband and wife left the party and they went to home. And see the worst situation, after enjoying a very good, very pleasant part of her life, the worst part of the life had to be seen by Matilda. Why? Because her necklace that she had borrowed from her rich friend Madame Forestier, that expensive necklace, had been lost. They went back home. She had a full view of herself in the glory in the mirror. Even then, she went to her home. She was totally absorbed in the glory of her beauty. She was admiring herself in front of mirror, and all of a sudden she uttered a cry. She started shouting. Her necklace was not around her neck, because she didn't find her necklace around her neck. That costly necklace had been lost. So because of that, Mr. Louisel got very much worried, and he dressed himself again, and he went out to search for the necklace all over the track up to the hall of that royal ball. He went to the police next day, and even he went to the cab offices, and he had given advertisement in newspaper, and he had offered a good amount as a reward to the person who would find and return that necklace to the couple. But by the end of the week, they had lost all the hopes that they would find that lost necklace again. So, as Mr. Lucille and even Matilda, though she had been uh, having a nature to show off the riches, but still she was honest. Now both of them, the couple, decided to make the replacement of the necklace that had been lost. So they searched for such a necklace, and in one shop they found that a similar diamond necklace was there, and it valued at 40,000 francs. So luckily they were able to find the diamond necklace in one of the shop which looked exactly uh, the necklace which they had borrowed from Mrs. Forestier. So Mr. Louisel possessed 18,000 francs which his father had left and borrowed the rest of the money. Actually, the owner of the shop, he got convinced to sell that diamond set in 36,000 francs, and at this time Mr. Loisel, he did have only 18,000 francs which he had inherited from his father, and the rest of the money, rest means here 18 he already have, and the rest, that is the 18,000 francs, he borrowed from other people, from might be from some loan agencies, might be from his friends or relatives. So in this way he managed to gather 36,000 francs so that he could buy that necklace, and he could be able to make the replacement of the lost necklace. So he went to the shop and he deposited 36,000 francs and got the same kind of necklace as they had lost earlier. Madame Forestier got the necklace back, and Madame Forestier didn't open the jewel box at that time. So at one time, so temporarily the problem had been solved, but as they had to borrow a big amount of money, it could lead, or it could make their life very miserable. So this situation, this episode landed the couple into the worst parts or the worst situations of their life. So one necklace that they had borrowed from one of the friend for show off. Actually, at first this necklace was the symbol of glamour, the symbol of gracefulness. But afterwards, the same necklace proved to be very much disastrous, which ruined the life of the couple, Mr. and Mrs. Loisel. But now, the miserable struggle pay of the debt, the pathetic situation, the miserable struggle started in the life of the couple, which made their life very much horrible. Then started the horrible life of necessity of Mr. and Mrs. Loisel. Now she realized what is the name of necessity in reality. Till now, whatever she had been having, she does not care of that. She would be aspiring for high and high. She was not at all satisfied. But after losing all those facilities, all those circumstances that she was previously having, she realized what are the real necessities of the lives. Then she washed the dishes and linen, because before that she had never washed such thing. For all those things she had the maids. She did all the household works because they sent away from their maids. They rented some room in the attics. At that time, they could not afford to live or to stay in good apartments. So, for minimizing their spending, they have to they have to hire a room in one of the attic, in one of the building. So now Matilda and her husband are with their heavy debts. They work really very hard to pay off this debt. Their life really became miserable. They had to dismiss their servant. They had to move themselves to a cheap house, and Matilda had to do all the household works herself. Her husband also, on the other hand, he was also doing very hard. He worked in evening at some merchant's office, so he was doing some part-time jobs also. So he was actually the clerk in the Department of Education. The another work he was doing in the evening time in one merchant office, and even he was doing hard work, he was doing job during night time also. He did copying at 5 source page at night. So all these things they have to do, and at the end of 10 years they paid all their debts. And afterwards, after leading such a miserable and difficult life, Matilda realized that a necklace had changed their lives. She had borrowed the necklace to pretend like a rich lady, but in the real sense, the same necklace had made her very, very, very poor lady in the real lives. So, in the end, this is the end of the story where the truth was revealed out. So, see what was the truth. What happened? One day, Mrs. Louisel happened to meet Madame Forrester taking a walk. Madame Forrester didn't recognize her friend Matilda because Matilda had got changed badly. She got changed extremely because of her hard days that she had led recently in those 10 years. Now she is no longer charming. Matilda looked very old. So that's why Mrs. Forrester didn't identify her. Matilda confessed that she had hard days because of her necklace. Madame Forrester remembered the necklace had given to her. But she reminded Matilda that she had already returned that necklace. So they started talking, and Mrs. Lois told the whole story. She told whole story to Madame Forrester that for what she had borrowed the necklace and what that necklace had done. Actually, she told whole how she lost the necklace and how they have to gather the money 36,000 francs to make the replacement of that lost necklace. And she told that it became miserable due to that diamond necklace, and that diamond necklace, which is the symbol of gracefulness, which is the symbol of glamour, which is the symbol of richness, that become actually a symbol of misery, the symbol of pathetic situation, the symbol of difficult days in her life. So at last, after listening to all this sad story, a heart-touching story narrated by Matilda, she filled with sympathy, and she showed her sympathy and replied, "Oh, my poor Matilda, my necklace was false. They were false and not worth over 500 francs." So at last, Madame Forestier, she told that actually the necklace that she had lent to Matilda, that was not original diamond necklace. Rather, it was a artificial diamond necklace which did not worth more than 500 francs. So, for making the replacement of lost necklace, uh, which cost only 500 francs, the couple had to pay nearly 36,000 francs, nearly 72 times than that of the previous, the original one. So in this way we have seen, for paying off the debt to make the replacement, or to because they had purchased a real diamond necklace, so to pay off that debt the couple had to work very, very, very hard, and their good days of life, that is the 10 years of life, they have spent in doing hard work. So students, what we have learned from this story? The story is giving us a very good lesson. See, the first one is, one must live within one own's means whatever facilities, whatever means we are having in our life, we must try to live, we must try to be satisfied with those means only. So it is also about the contentment, that is the satisfaction of what you have. People should learn to be happy and thankful of what they have. If they want more, they must work harder to achieve it. So the next is honesty is the best policy. This is also revealed in this poem because the couple showed their honesty, and because of that they decided to make the replacement, because they could have done fraud with Mrs. Forrester, but they didn't try for it. Okay, and they decided to make the replacement. They decided to pursue the truth, and so our story is actually underlined with the theme of honesty is the best policy, or importance of telling the truth. So this was all about the story, and I hope all my dear students, they must take morals from this story. Whatever we are having in our life, we must be content, we must be satisfied with those things, with those facilities. We should never blame our parents or our family members or our luck for any kind of worst situation in our life. We must be content in every odd situation, and in the case we want to or we aspire high, we must try for that, so that we can accomplish our dreams, we can accomplish our goals by our hard works. Not we should try to dream to be achieved by our good lucks. So thank you very much. I hope you must have got the summary of this chapter and you will do well in your examination. So once again, thank you very much.